Dorks and Forks is brought to you by His and Hers Couples Boutique, Kirkwood Highway, Wilmington.
Dorks and Forks.
All right, this is it. We're recording. Hello and welcome to the Dorks and Forks Vlogcast.
Vlogcast?
Dan, is it? I'm your host, Brian Wild. Across from me, as always, the Reverend Dan Sanchez.
Hello.
Vlogcast. Is that
Vlogcast.
video podcast?
Yeah.
Is that what you call it? Maybe, yeah.
I'm vlogging right now.
Well, that's what I'm calling it anyway. So it's an all-new, all-video Dorks and Forks podcast. I'm very excited about it. It's the first time we've ever done it. Big thanks to Phil back there engineering the whole thing.
Big Phil.
Thanks, Phil. We'll just make sure to keep him full of Jameson.
Well, he does have a Patriots hat on, but we'll let that go.
Nice, very cool. We also have local chef and pitmaster of Limestone BBQ and Bourbon with us, Nicholas Wallace.
What's going on, everybody?
Dan, I've been really looking forward today, and you haven't told me what you're making. I heard
told
Dan
me.
knows. Dan kind of hinted to it, but I'm super excited to learn about it. So let's see. Also, we have the lovely Amy Blackthorn. Hello, Amy.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Hey, thanks for coming out. We've been talking for a little bit on Messenger a little bit, trying to get you in here, trying to figure it out in the fall. She owns Blackthorn Hoodoo Blends Tea Room. Now, is that online or is that an...
Online, absolutely.
Yeah, right on. And is the author of her most recent book, Sacred Smoke. Mm-hmm. It's a book about cleansing and protecting your home by burning sage and other herbs.
And I hear we're going to do some of that later today, right?
We are.
All right.
That's going to be really cool, you know, because I just kind of go around with sage or incense. I just kind of smudge a little bit.
Right.
But it's kind of cool to have a professional author who knows all about it
I'm
and kind of
excited.
walk us through the process, you know.
The process.
All right, so we
I'm excited.
also brought back killer guitarist Chris the Viking Gordon. We're going back. Yeah.
Hey, how are you?
Good,
Great
man.
to be back.
What's going on? You brought your partner.
Songwriting
Abby?
partner,
Yeah,
Abby.
musical partner.
Yeah, that's very
Just to
cool.
clarify.
Adamant. She's just so adamant about that.
I mean, I
she's
like him,
this
just
is.
not that.
She's like,
that
we are
way.
married to other people.
Well, you know,
I was going to say friend, but you were like, it should be partner.
They're right.
Hey, we're co-writers, 50-50.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
All right. Very cool.
Well done.
Well, I
Well
can't wait
done.
to see you guys because the new original project is called what?
well, currently, the name has not been
It's TBD.
Okay. TBD.
currently.
Unnamed Chris Gordon
Nice.
Abby
Secret
project.
So we're
Yes.
gonna get some like cool original secret project stuff going on.
Yes.
Oh man, this is
Yes.
great, man. And also,
Very good.
Dan, I also hear you have a nerd news update.
Apparently, I'm ready to talk about some Disney Plus, some Star Wars,
Yeah.
some Mandalorian stuff going on.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Baby Yoda. That's all I'm gonna say.
Baby Yoda, everybody loves Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda.
Well, it sounds like we have an awesome show lined up. I'm glad everybody came out, and thank you so much, and dealing with all our technical difficulties as we.
Well, you know, speaking of Yoda, it's interesting. I guess we should call our project name We Do Not Have Yet. There you go.
That's good.
But the songs
awesome.
are awesome.
I can't wait to hear
We
them.
do not have yet songs.
Yeah,
No songs have yet.
that's
Yeah,
awesome.
There you go.
All right, so when we return, all of this and more.
We gonna do a shot?
Yeah, let's do it, man. Cheers, guys. Thank
Pass
you so
them
much.
out.
We always do a little celebratory
Thank you.
shot at the beginning of the show. Today we are
Extremely
doing.
important.
Hey, we're doing Jameson.
We're doing Jameson. Hello.
A bit to the Irish.
By
whiskey.
request,
Also
Jameson.
known in my home is Mother's Milk.
Mother's milk.
Hey, mother's milk. Does everyone have one?
Cheers.
Do you
Not
have one?
Brian
he has,
Skinner.
Brian Skinner has his own
We
thing
have
to
we
do.
got Skinner back there for all of you.
He's taking his own shot.
All right.
All right, you gotta
sounds good.
drink it
I
too.
just need one too.
I can't.
Amy. Oh, thanks,
Oh,
Amy.
Amy.
Cheers,
She's the
business
best.
partner.
Wait.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
guys.
Welcome
Thank you.
and thank you again for joining us.
Thank you so much for coming out and doing our podcast.
Salute.
Cheers. Dorks and Forks. We'll be right back.
Dorks and Forks.
All right, cool, man. So we're back. Dan, we are back.
We're back.
Yeah, we have Chef Nicholas. Nick,
Nicholas.
what do you like?
Nick works.
All right, from Limestone BBQ and Bourbon, here to tell us what he's whipped up. You're gonna cook for us, man.
Yeah, so I brought some brisket tacos, little pickled jalapenos, pickled onions, char poblano guacamole, and some rice and beans.
Yep.
Oh, right.
He said all these nice, sweet words to me earlier,
I mean,
and
it
I
sounds
just
pretty,
immediately was like salivating. So I cannot wait.
Yeah.
Limestone BBQ and Bourbon is somewhere on Limestone Road here in
So
Delaware.
we're at Limestone Road and Kirkwood Highway, right behind the NTB there, next to Wawa. Used to be a Buffalo Wild Wings.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Perfect spot.
Yeah, cool spot. We do live music every Friday and Saturday. Just over a year now. July 26th was our first year.
Yeah.
So it's going good. Going good.
Man, that sounds really good. So, you guys are pretty much like farm to table, maybe? Or, I mean, like pretty
Kinda.
close. I mean, where you
As
where
close
you,
as we can be with what we're
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah.
So we actually know the farms that our brisket comes from.
Wow.
Our pork comes from.
Yeah.
As close as we can be with doing that amounts of everything. There's 2 briskets on a cow, so.
Yeah. Now, some people say you're like it's a very specific style of barbecue that you do,
Yeah, so we do Texas style counter
Yeah.
service.
and I hear it's like it's awesome, hands
We're
down.
trying. We won best barbecue upstate and best new restaurant.
And
Wow,
wow, yeah.
that's
Yeah,
impressive.
first year.
That's
Yeah.
impressive.
Well, Robbie Chester like told me all about you and was like, "Yo, come talk to my boy."
Yeah,
should have
yeah.
my.
We go back a little bit, about 10, 12 years.
Oh,
something
yeah?
like that. Yeah.
So when did you get into cooking? Like, tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
So I started technically at like 5 years old. I started doing barbecue, whole hogs. One side of the family's from North Carolina, one other side's from West Virginia.
Wow.
Actually started working in restaurants at 13, but I've been cooking whole hogs since I was about 5 with my dad.
And what's that process like?
Long and tedious.
I
Like,
bet.
do you dig a hole?
No, so
Or-
we actually
No.
we created all of our own smokers. My dad's a mechanic, like jack of all trades. We made our own smokers. Throw the pig on, cook it for about 6 hours, flip it,
Wow.
saucing it the whole
Can-
time.
Good.
No.
Well, what style smokers are we talking about that you're building? Are these like the oil drum style
So
smokers?
yeah, we've used
or...
oil drums, propane tanks.
All right.
Yeah, you just gotta be careful when you're cutting into them. The first time.
Yeah,
Wow.
obviously. Yeah.
Yeah, I
for
never
sure.
thought of propane tank.
Yeah,
Right.
Go out with a bang.
Right. Literally.
That's awesome.
Literally.
Nice. And then after this whole hog barbecuing, like, is that when because you said you were 10 or something? When you
Yeah,
said-
so I was like 5 when I started actually doing whole pigs with my
Wow.
dad, something
Yeah.
like that.
Wow.
We started doing it for Boy Scouts originally, selling chicken on the weekends to go on trips and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Now, where are you getting your hogs from? Where's everything sourced? It's farm to table, like Brian said. So what farms are we looking at?
So our beef all comes from the Strauss family farm in PA. It's about an hour and a half from here.
Get right into that, Mike.
About an hour and a half from here. Our pork is from another farm in Pennsylvania. I don't have the name of that right offhand.
No
but
worries. We'll figure it out.
They are single family farms. I can say that.
All right.
But
And so how long are you doing the hog for?
so right now we just do pork shoulders and ribs.
Okay.
For pork. But we do pork shoulders for about 12 to 14 hours.
Well, so what put you on the path of cooking? I mean, what was that journey like?
Southern family. Just grew up making biscuits and gravy with my grandmother,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Going down south to visit family.
Yeah.
Just got hooked on it.
Yeah.
Picking crawfish out of the river and cooking them after that.
Dan, I am a Southern boy at heart. My parents came from Newport, Tennessee.
Okay.
Smoky Mountains, up in the Smoky
Yeah.
Mountains. We have a family cabin up in the Smoky Mountains. And biscuits and gravy, it's funny you said that. Biscuits and gravy is something that, I make for Christmas breakfast. And, those real special Sunday mornings with the kids. And, we just started, doing biscuits in a cast iron skillet,
Yeah.
baking it off that way.
That's the way.
It's the way.
Oh,
Like,
wow.
we just actually have this burn on my hand.
I heard you mention that earlier. What
That's
happened?
from we got a whole set of cast iron, and so we try to use it because it really ups the quality of your food.
it does.
You start getting pots or skillets.
Right.
All of a sudden your food just improves, like and the things that you can make too. And I think especially in the wintertime here, you want to start doing like slow cooking things or
Right.
making stews or
So
but
much
anyway.
more even heat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
oh,
doing.
absolutely.
Yeah, I was making pork chops, and I started on the skillet, hard sear, bacon fat, one side,
Okay.
seasoned, and then I wanted to finish it in the oven.
Yeah.
And then when you plate it, that's the first time you flip it over is when it goes on top of your
Oh, yeah.
mashed potato. Anyway, and that's right, that's how we do it.
That sounds
and
delicious.
so anyway, I kind of reached in. I still had that towel, but I reached in that. And it's that tail end and that cast iron.
Can we show it to camera?
No,
real
I
quick?
don't know if
Is
it's-
Are you? Can you?
No, it's just a big old blister. It's no big deal.
It's
full of tears.
disgusting.
It's really. I should take a pin to it at this
Oh
point.
no.
Raw onion.
Raw
Raw
onion.
onion?
Yeah,
Butter
if you ever
when
burn
it first
yourself, raw
happened.
onion is
Butter.
the trick.
Raw
So,
onion, yeah.
From working on lines at 13 years old, if you take like a burn, whatever, you know when you hold it next to heat and it hurts?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
If you put raw onion on it, you won't feel that.
See?
Really?
So you can
Look at
keep
that.
working through all of it.
Really?
Yeah.
That's good to know.
But then
folks. That's
don't
real good to
don't
know.
touch
Don't
anything
burn
else
yourself, kids.
afterwards. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I feel like in every restaurant that
Only-
I've ever worked in, you know, it's like your burn scars. It's kind of like a badge of honor.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Once
I've got
upon a
few.
time, I worked at a burger joint, and I was cleaning the grill at the end of the night. And then they also had us, you know, like go like put the cardboard on the back wall or on the grill and like clean the back wall and get the grates down, all that kind of stuff. And that's the point I was at, and there was like literally like a portion of the grill that was like this big, uncovered. And I got up and my rag dropped, and I bent down and I put my hand right on that one portion of the grill. And it was like a cartoon, man. I reached down and grabbed the rag, and I saw my hand, and I went, holy crap! Like I didn't realize what was happening until I saw it on the surface, and it was just like the whole hand, like
Oh,
from
yeah, I get-
here
Wow.
all the way up here was blistered. I
Man.
had to be like,
Was this Johnny Rockets?
17, yeah, man. Johnny Rockets.
Yeah.
That's actually how we met, Ryan Wild.
Do we dare tell our how we met?
We
Story?
can get there later. I think we've told it before.
Yeah.
I think we've told it before. But I actually am looking at, in other news, the Limestone BBQ and Bourbon Instagram page right now. Limestone BBQ and Bourbon. Dude, there's some pictures on here of food that I'm mad at myself that I haven't been down to y'all yet.
Yeah,
Like
you gotta come check us out,
It's
man.
unreal. And
It's
you have
a
live
hike,
music,
you know.
every
Wilmington, you're so far
Friday,
away.
right?
Yeah, so every Friday and Saturday from 7 to 9. We like to keep it like a family-friendly set so they can still
Sure.
bring the kids. They don't have to find babysitters.
That's great. That's great. Very cool. And so again, you're cooking for us brisket tacos.
Brisket tacos with some pickled jalapenos, pickled onions,
Oh my god,
charred poblano guacamole,
guys.
You guys
and
make all this
rice and
stuff in-house.
beans with chipotle crema.
Jeez. And all made in house, right?
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
my God.
absolutely.
Man, that sounds awesome.
All
Well,
right.
I guess we'll take a break. Come back when we return. Amy Blackthorn.
Amy Blackthorn.
All right. Thank you so much, Chef.
Thank you
we'll
so
see
much,
soon.
Chef.
Thanks for having
Start
me.
cooking stuff
We'll
up.
see you soon with
right
some
after this
food.
break. And we're back.
We
Dorks and
are
Force Man.
back.
I definitely need some of that water.
Yeah, I'm glad you're getting some hydration over there. It smells like heaven in here, thanks to the wonderful Amy Blackthorn, who's burning some delicious things here.
Man, that's
Amy,
great.
thank you for joining us.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much for having me.
Yeah, I can't wait to get into that. But first, I am completely excited to tell you guys about a place my girlfriend and I recently discovered. His and Hers Couples Boutique, located in Wilmington, Delaware. The friendly and informative staff made us feel totally welcome and comfortable while shopping for some fun products to give our holiday season a little spice. And I'm not talking pumpkin spice. His and Hers can be your one-stop shop for premium adult products such as toys, lingerie, oils, novelty items, CBD products, and more. I love the CBD. You like the CBD, Dan?
It's I love it. All the initials.
You can shop for things to use on yourself or with your partner. And as we found out, they are sure to both entice and delight. His and Hers is located at 3907 Kirkwood Highway and is open daily. Find them on Facebook for holiday hours. Be sure to stop by and visit and tell them the Dorks sent you 10% off.
10% off.
Yeah, so you could get a massive dildo. 10% off.
If that's what one is looking for.
I don't know. Amy
Random.
Blackthorn.
Hi, thank you for
Go-to.
having me so much.
That's a good segue.
It really is.
You know, have you ever been to
Sure.
His and Hers? Oh, you don't have to
haven't-
answer that.
I haven't been to His and Hers yet, but I hadn't heard of them. I will definitely check them out now.
It's
Yeah,
very
see,
nice.
look at that.
Yeah, the lovely Heather, our hostess, she's been there for 9.5 years. So, yeah, go and
That's
say
fabulous.
hi. Go and say hi, girl power.
Girl power. Yes.
So thanks for coming on. You have a online tea shop.
I do.
Yeah, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
So I was working at as the head of security for one of the high rises right in Wilmington, one of the tallest buildings in the state.
Yeah.
And it was a toxic work relationship, and I decided to get out. I needed to find a new thing.
Yeah.
So my very first day as a proudly unemployed woman, I went downstairs and I grabbed some Van oil and some candles to make sure that I really cleared out the old space
Yeah.
and old baggage from my last job
Right.
to make room for new. So I'm anointing the candle and the doorbell rings. And I think this is the fastest candle magic I've ever done.
Wow.
Wait a minute.
It was the post office. They had dropping off a package. I walk back into the kitchen, and the whole kitchen smells like lemongrass. And I think if I had a tea to continue my intention work while I'm getting ready, going through my daily ritual, I would have everything unneeded.
Yeah.
And the light bulb went off in my head, and I said, I need this tea. I need to create a tea shop.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because I certainly wondered like what kind of. So I'm a total nerd when it comes to Renaissance fair and the occult or ancient holistic oils or medicine or saging. So I'm a big fan of what you do. But when did it become so part of your life where you're like, I could write books about this. I could open a tea shop. You know, like because it's almost a modern day alchemist. Almost.
It really is.
You know,
Alchemy-
are you Wicca or?
I was initiated in a British traditional witchcraft coven the minute I turned 18.
Wow.
I don't recommend joining the first coven you find. Sort of date around a bit.
Yeah.
Date your coven.
Definitely date around.
Yeah.
But the minute I joined at 18, it was really empowering and really fabulous. I have my heathen people that I love. I'm a part of White Marsh Thayed. White Marshes all over the country from Washington State to Georgia, Maryland. So
Nice. So you're part of the scene.
yes.
Oh, that's very
Yeah.
cool.
And you're also obviously so the herbs and the oils and horticulture on the whole. I mean this as a total compliment. Like you're like a real life Hufflepuff. Like
Yes.
yeah, for sure. I like immediately when I looked at your website and like what you were all about, I was like, oh my god, she's a Hufflepuff in real life. I wanted to know more.
I have my first book was a lot of aromatherapy and essential oils. It's a magical guide to how to use your essential oils. It's not, I have a cold, smell some eucalyptus. It's, I feel grief for a friend who has died, have some angelica.
Right. And that first book is Blackthorn's Botanical Magic, which is, I'm sure, a treasure trove of advice like that.
It is. It's 1,000 things to do with one oil rather than buy 30 oils and make one item.
Yeah. That's great.
There's something that I wear almost every day. I got it. I have two vials of it. One is, it's dragon's blood. And you smile when I say that, but
I really do.
yeah. One I have from the Pennsylvania Renaissance Fair, and then one where I got from Marie Laveau's House of Voodoo in New Orleans, and it was their blend. I'll let you smell it, or I'll.
I
let
absolutely
you-
would love to smell
Yeah,
it. Dragon's
and-
blood is my favorite.
Right. So, anyway, so what is dragon's blood?
Dragon's blood is the resin from the Dracaena draco. It's a tree that looks sort of like a palm tree you find in the grocery store. They actually have one at Longwood Gardens you can go and visit.
What?
So,
What is it again? One more time.
Dracaena draco. It's the dragon tree. It literally just means dragon tree, and the dragon's blood is the warm sap that oozes out if there's a nick or a leaf breaks off.
Wow.
This
Yeah, that's
warm red
it's
sap
right.
draws out, and it's just dried. They can make it into oils. They can burn it as an incense.
Wow.
And it's got
Dragon's
that
blood.
warm, musky, almost a cherry-like smell to it.
Wow.
I tell you, I walk through the lands of Wilmington, and women all of a sudden are magnetized to me.
From the dragon's blood.
They're like, what is
that?
that smell?
How would you describe that smell? Is there like a
Yes.
it's a
Dragon's blood is a warm, sweet,
Let me
musky,
get it. I'll get it real quick.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
it's right in
warm,
the other room.
sweet,
musky,
musky.
and almost a cherry in the back of your nose.
Oh.
Yeah, it's sweet and warm. You think musk and you think dark and hard.
Right.
But it's lighter and a little sweeter, and it definitely smells like the color red.
I love that. I love that. It smells like the color red. That's amazing. So I said to you before we got on air, I was so excited to see you. I put on my patchouli. I got some thieves oil going. What are other great, just kind of everyday oils?
Lemongrass is one of my favorite for
Yeah.
every day. It's uplifting. It's enlightening. You don't have to worry about citrus making your skin sensitive. It's really enlivening.
Okay.
Wow.
Lemongrass.
Here it
Oh,
is.
you have the dragon's blood.
I brought my dragon's blood here. This is
Yes.
from Madame Laveau's House of Voodoo in
Wow.
New Orleans, and there you go. You can smell it.
Let's see.
This is what I wear. I try to. every
Yeah.
day.
Oh wow, that smells like a Sun's Eye is another brand that just does a dragon's blood. That's really nice. This is more resinous though. It'll definitely last a lot longer.
It does.
The more resinous
May I?
the oil, the longer it'll last in the bottle. Before
Oh my
it
god!
goes
I just
rancid.
spilled it everywhere. No, I'm just kidding. Yes. Oh wow.
So you can see there's almost. You see? Do you smell the
Oh
cherry?
wow. Yeah. That's nice.
Dragon's blood.
Oh.
And the ladies They're like,
They really do.
I'm like, oh my god, it smells so good. What is that?
I'm
My-
gonna have to get some.
You want to
dragon's
smell
blood.
it?
My
Here,
favorite
could you
dragon's
hand this
blood.
to Skinner?
Mac or
My-
yeah,
just-
there we go.
Yeah, we
Favorite dragon's
Skinner?
blood is from a company called Black Phoenix Alchemy Lab. They're an indie perfume house in Hollywood,
Oh,
and they have an entire line of perfumes and colognes that is just based on dragon's blood scents. So
Wow.
dragon's milk is dragon's blood and cream and honey.
It smells so goddamn good.
The dragon's hide might smell really well on you. It reminds you of a warm library, so you get leather.
Oh,
and
wow.
smoke,
yes.
as well as the dragon's blood.
hide.
Dragon's hide.
All right, noted.
Wow.
Dragon's hide.
Hide. Cheers.
Wow.
Well,
I'm
so
I'm sorry. I'm
now
just
with
taking
all
that
this,
in.
you know, you've got all this smell, and now in front of us, she has this lovely bottle of what is it?
Mead?
Amy?
This is the mead from the Birmingham Meadery.
Which
This is the Slavic Stone. It's a plum and cherry.
Oh wow.
Dan, do you know what mead is?
Mead is a honey, alcohol,
wine.
right? A honey,
Honey
wine.
wine. Made famous by Odin
Odin.
and all those North pagans.
Oh wow. This is it's very pourable and palatable. It looks like I feel like
so
most meads are a little bit thicker than this, but I like
So
this.
Birmingham, what's really cool is that you could drive downstate on the way to the
it smells
beach.
nice.
You kind of pull off, and you can find Birmingham and load up a couple bottles. So
Right
in
here in
your
Delaware.
cooler- yeah,
Right
right,
here in
here in
Delaware.
cooler.
Yeah.
And take it to the beach. And
wow.
last time Heather and I went, we did that. We stopped in, had kind of a road mead, and got a couple bottles. But
All right, let's take a sip.
They're now bottling. They're now canning their own ciders as well.
yeah, it's so good.
It's me aerating my mead in my mouth. There's may have some ASMR.
Oh,
Hail Odin, hail our
Oh, wow.
ancestors.
Plum and what was the other?
cherry.
Cherry. Oh yeah, I get the cherry on the back end for sure.
So good, right?
Oh, that's nice.
May I see the bottle?
Absolutely.
Here we go. Yeah, so Birmingham Slavic Stones.
Here you go, Skinner.
Has their trademark brimming horn on it.
Yeah, it kind of looks Mardi Gras esque.
I understand. Yes, I can see that.
It's got this, which I've found initially kind of confusing, but no, it's a gorgeous logo. A delicious
nice.
sweet blend of honey, cherries, and plums to create a rich, complex nectar of the gods.
That's dangerous.
This deep-colored melomel is a hail to my ancestors from the Balkans.
That's dangerous.
Contains sulfates. You might get a little
Contains
rashy.
sulfates.
You might get a little rashy. Oh,
That's
thank you so much.
you know what that
It's
reminds me
delicious.
of? When I was a kid, we used to get the black cherry sodas
Oh yeah.
from Pathmark. And this is an updated, mommy daddy version of that. That's
Yeah,
delicious.
we have another meadery cider house here in
Oh yeah,
Wilmington,
right here in
Liquid
Wilmington.
Alchemy.
Mm-hmm. Liquid Alchemy.
Yeah, if you get a chance, they have these awesome brunch things, and you go and you drink some mead or some delicious ciders, and it's wonderful.
Yeah.
So, you were going to do for us kind of a demo on how one would cleanse. the home.
Absolutely.
Right, because your new book, Sacred Smoke, is all about
Available on Amazon.
right.
Amazon. It's available in Barnes and Noble right in Christina Mall.
Oh, very
Yeah.
cool.
Barnes and Noble carries both of the books.
Fancy.
I'm very excited. They were very sweet. So we have our Florida water tea for later.
Mm-hmm.
And
We were thinking about having some tea later. From her tea shop. What is the tea shop?
blackthornhoodieblends.com.
Hoodie
sounds
Blends. And I'm actually looking at it right now. That site looks great.
Sounds
And I'm
Thank
also
you.
going to, real quick, so your new book, Sacred Smoke, I'm just going to read the back of the book here so kids know what we're talking about. This accessible, user-friendly book offers the essential tools for creating sacred space, a safe space, free of negative energies, using smoke from herbs, incense, and other sources. Amy Blackthorn covers all the basics. What you need to know about a purification and cleansing practice, the importance of self-care, how to keep your home and family safe, how to protect your home while you're away, how to add crystals to your practice, and Amy's wearing a wonderful crystal right now, essential herbs and recipes for creating cleansing smoke. Sacred Smoke is an essential guide for anyone seeking to practice the ritual use of cleansing and clearing to protect and heal themselves, their home, and their family. Available now where good books are sold.
Well read, Dan. Well read.
Thank you very much. You
Cheers,
do it
Amy.
justice.
I do what I can.
Nice.
So right now we're burning.
We have a little more mead.
Oh, yes.
Thank you.
So right now we're burning a garden sage. I grew this fabulous little bundle right in my garden.
Would you like me to pour
I
you
would
some?
love
There you
just
are.
a little bit more.
There you are. Just go.
So this garden sage, there's a reason behind it.
Okay.
Most sage that you find, whether it's in New Age shops like Finding Avalon or it's online, you can find it in Amazon. Most places will sell something called white sage, Salvia apiana.
Yeah.
And you can find it everywhere. You can find it in the mall.
Mm-hmm.
But white sage doesn't like to be grown on farms. It likes to roam wild. It likes to grow on the side of a mountain in
Like
California.
me.
Brian Wild.
Yes. So it makes it really hard to farm. They don't want it. It doesn't want to grow. So it makes it hard to source it. Most people started sneaking into native lands to poach it.
Oh, wow.
Steal it from the native peoples who are
Really?
selling it. So I'm growing my garden sage and using the same. It's still a salvia. There's 920 members of the salvia family, and they all have their own certain little quirks about their cleansing practice.
Yeah.
So it still has the same cleansing and aerating. It really lifts up the room. It feels like you just have a breath of fresh air in there.
Yeah.
So each one does that, but I brought a few others as well. So this one's a bit of rosemary, a little bit of Scotch broom, some lavender buds.
Now, is it more for scent, or do those specific herbs have spiritual kind of relevance or relevance when you burn them? Like, does each one kind of have a category of what they are good for spiritually?
Yes,
Okay.
each one does a certain little specific thing. So sage got familiar, and it's a verb now to sage,
Right.
to submit, to cleanse.
I had to
That
sage my vagina.
Oh, Jesus.
These-
true.
Sorry,
You,
folks.
you,
It's true.
you would.
Sorry, folks.
Sorry, go on.
So
Didn't think
sage
I'd
is
say
really
that today.
cleansing. It brings the back to your space to zero.
Right.
Whereas
Sage
something
does.
as rosemary, which I have over here, brings it. It feels light and it feels cheery and
Yeah.
airy. It's not just blank slate. You've filled in the spaces with something happy and warm. Nature abhors a vacuum. So you've filled in some of that light and sweet. We used some rosemary stems, a little bit of lavender stem. So it still has that warm, sweet, loving smell.
It smells wonderful.
Thank you.
Everything in here smells great
I feel like there's no evil presence
So, let's
in
talk
this room.
about that.
Someone's
So,
been blessed.
so when you're doing that process, when you have your sage and you're ready to go and you're looking to smudge your home, is there one place that you should start first? Is there like a place that you should never do? Like, what's the proper ritual, if you will, for that?
When I'm starting, I always start at the top floor, the farthest away you can get from the
Okay.
front door.
Okay.
So I start on the top, I work my way, I go counterclockwise because we're banishing anything that's negative in the space. I leave the front door open because you got to leave somewhere for that stuff to get out.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes, most people
Wow,
just keep the windows closed.
Yeah,
wonder
See?
why
I do.
Right.
Yeah, that's
it's like Scooby-Doo in here. No.
Been doing that wrong. All right.
So, once you start in the top space, work your way down to the second floor, the first floor, the basement, whatever
Right.
you have. Then I go through and I'll anoint the windows and doors and guard them so nothing can get back in.
Yes.
So something like dragon's blood oil is perfect because dragon's blood is purification and protection.
See?
I was burning that today because I have the incense as well.
Right.
Interesting.
That's good advice.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's great
it's,
advice.
It's easy to do. You can do it anytime. You don't have to wait for the full moon or you don't have to worry about any of that. It's
Right.
They're plants and they're working all the time.
So you cover what the different plants and everything do in the book.
Absolutely. So there's illustrations.
Oh, great.
There's little things to try. There's a way to create your own authentic smoke practice. One of the things that is really important right now, and there are a lot more people understanding and experimenting with it, is developing an authentic practice, something that's not taking away from another culture. You're creating your own authentic practice.
Wow,
Something
yeah.
that's just for you.
Yeah.
So we start with lavender and clove in smoke bathing ourselves. Just getting that practice that says these are really centering, these are
Right.
warming, cloves bring luck into your home. So there's nothing bad can happen. We're
Yeah.
just creating something that's purely yours.
I like that smoke bath aspect. Like there's times like just something as simple as a campfire just like rejuvenates me, you know?
Yeah.
And it's, a nice smoke bath is good every once in a while. Kind of get back into your soul, you know?
That's where you
great.
need to be.
Absolutely.
We spend so much time in our phones and our work and our jobs stuck in traffic. You need a minute to come back into yourself.
And that olfactory kind of process and that muscle memory of that always kind of can bring you back there.
Brings you right back.
That's great.
When you smell something, you're not remembering the first time you smelled it to identify it. You're remembering the last time you
The
encountered
last
it,
time you smelled it, right?
which is really great because you're not experiencing those old memories that can be associated with trauma or
Right.
something that's upsetting. You're experiencing that fresh, new who you are right now.
Absolutely, absolutely. Amy, where can we find you online and on the interwebs, on the social medias?
My books can be found at amyblackthorn.com. You can order them autographed.
Okay.
You can find my teas at blackthornhoodooblends.com. And I have Facebook pages for all of those.
Okay.
And funny memes for witches and pagans, witchcraft down and dirty.
That's awesome. Witchcraft Down and Dirty. So, Amy, thank you so much for sharing your time with us. We really appreciate it. You're going to stick around for some food, right?
I am.
All right. And when we come back, we're going to talk to Chris Gordon and Abby, and we're going to eat some delicious food from Chef Nick. We'll be right back. Dorks and Forks.
Dorks and Forks.
We are rolling. Phil?
All right, let's do it.
Skinner?
Here we go.
Good.
All right, I guess we're going. Hello, everyone.
Sorry.
We're back. Right now,
Dorks and
we're
Forks
welcoming Chris Gordon and Abby Lee Moscano. No, I marsed it up already.
Wow, we just went over this.
We just went over this.
try
I'm
again.
sorry.
I want
Let's
to see if
try
you
again.
can get it.
I'm going to mess it up again. Give it to me one
No,
more
you
time.
can do it.
No, give it to me again.
Mosconi.
Mosconi. All right, let's roll
Nice.
back. Let's
Okay.
roll it back.
No,
Mosconi.
no, I mean, we'll keep it. Let's just keep
No, keep
rolling.
it.
No, we'll roll it back.
No, that was solid.
Roll it back.
That was
Hey!
All right, here we
Flavor.
go.
I'm
Okay.
learning it for the first time.
All right,
Mosconi.
here we
Let's
go.
go.
We're back.
We're back with Chris Gordon and Abby Lee Mosconi. I got it. Yes,
Yeah,
I got it
no.
right.
Thank you guys so much for coming out.
Thank you for having us.
You know,
Thank
we
you
were
so
definitely
much.
looking for a band to kind of come out and, you know, and really kind of put something together. And you know, when we talked, I was really flattered that because you were on our podcast before.
Yes.
And you did our our holiday shred medley.
Shredley.
medley.
This
Shred
is
medley.
He's a
Shredley.
shred master.
I think it's got 87 views on our YouTube.
87.
Congratulations.
Oh,
That is
man.
our highest viewed.
Hey, wait,
That's
guys, go to
highest view for like
That is our highest viewed
youtube.com/the-dorks and forks, and you
Yeah.
can check it out.
Yeah, Chris Gordon's on there,
Yeah.
and that was really cool. So like, you know, you've come back to our show. Thank you for lending credibility, but you're also like
Half the man he used to be.
100,
Yes.
100 pounds.
Literally.
Just over 100 pounds. Yes. Wow. Yeah.
You know, are you just preferring alcohol over food?
or
no.
vice versa.
The irony is that what started the weight loss was the lack of alcohol.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
So you kind of cleaned up for a little bit.
I did.
Wow.
I did the. There was a thing on the internet that talked about the 28 days challenge.
Yeah, it's kind of a sober October.
Yes.
Or something like that. Sober October.
So what I did was I just rounded it up to 30.
Yeah,
Sure.
Yeah.
And in 30 days, I lost 30 pounds. Wow. And I said, well, you know, that's kind of interesting. So I went to my primary care, and, you know, we did all of the, you know, height, you know, whatever they do, you know,
Yeah.
your body mass.
The body
And
mass
what
index,
is
yeah.
your
And you-
ideal weight?
And you were the fucking Viking. You were
Yeah,
just
300 pounds
thick.
plus.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
hear
but
you,
three
bro.
like I say this, a healthy in that like you were
Yeah.
it was lifting. It wasn't.
wasn't
I was
sloppy.
I was
wasn't a
powerlifting
sloppy,
at the time.
right,
yeah.
right. I
was
mean,
And you were
yeah.
fucking shredding in metal.
Yes, I
So
was
that
doing
kinda-
the metal shred.
Yeah, so that 300 pounds kind of just fucking elevates.
Well, yeah, because you know you got to
you're
suck your
fucking
gut
rock
in
and
when
roll.
you're
You know
playing
what
a
I
lot of
mean?
notes. You got no choice.
You use that
You know, because
diaphragm.
then you just miss notes because you're like your gut's in the way.
It's true. Yeah, I saw
But
some
Chris's wife has stated publicly on Facebook that she does prefer him in a lighter state because he has more energy.
Ooh,
Oh.
he can go the
There's pros and
distance,
cons,
if you
man.
will.
So it's not just like 3 minutes,
Sorry,
and you're
Chris.
like, all right.
No, no,
let's
it's all
just
good. It's
finish
true.
this.
It's true.
true.
And there's another great benefit to.
Dropping 100 pounds.
Yeah, there's something in the. It's physics, and you know.
Joints feel better because I remember you
Well,
had carpal
you know,
tunnel. Did that
joints
go
An
and
away?
other-
object in
other
motion will stay in
appendages
motion.
do other
Yes,
things that they
there you
couldn't do
go.
before.
Oh,
yeah.
really?
It's inertia.
Oh, it's,
And,
maybe a
well, it's not just
testosterone
that;
thing.
it's
like-
inches.
and
Right,
testosterone-
right, because
oh,
there's
really?
less
Yeah,
fat
no,
around.
I'm-
No, there's
I'm gonna
less
be
fat
brutally
around
honest
the
here.
area.
I mean, we're
Wait,
on
wait,
TV.
wait. You're
I'm gonna-
saying if you lose weight, your dick gets bigger?
Yep.
longer.
What?
Longer
Brian.
and ridiculous because here's the
Brian.
deal. I'm going to get
Wait,
medical
this
on
is
you.
a breakthrough. This is going to be
Sorry,
that big
gets
video.
or looks?
But do you lose girth as well? Like, come on, Brian.
No, I don't.
What's going on?
No
Brian,
girth.
Chris, tell us.
No girth is lost.
No girth is lost.
I'm
But let
so
me
glad
tell
this
you,
is the
so
direction the podcast
here's
is going.
the-
Wait,
here's-
so no girth is gay?
Sorry, Abby.
Ah,
No. So
yeah,
it's just
but
like,
you know, okay. So here's what happens.
Okay.
This is bizarre.
All right, let's fucking talk about
But
it.
as you, depending on your situation, depending on the kind of weight you gain, it can press down on the urethra,
Yeah.
which eventually, let's just put it bluntly, sucks it in.
Sure.
So when you lose all that weight, it just says, "Hey, I'm free to do what I do."
All right.
And the next thing you know, you're like, I could have another career choice here.
Wow.
Wow.
In the industry. In the
Wait,
industry.
Wait. If this were true, this would be like the biggest advertisement for pro losing weight.
Brian.
Yes, it
I
is.
think that's what we're talking about.
I want to believe this.
Do you have a
It's
chubby
gonna
husband?
take some time
Do you
for
have a
me.
chubby husband?
No, I don't. I have a very thin
No,
husband,
he-
actually.
No.
he-
So
I
there's
have a
nothing
very
to
thin
look
husband.
forward
But
to.
if he ever gets fat, he's going to have a shorter schwanz. That's what's going to happen.
He won't get fat, and
She's like,
that's a promise.
so
Very, very happy with what I've got.
proves my point right there.
that's crazy. Because I remember some people, they were like, I saw online where when you start dropping all that weight, they were like, he's not the Viking.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I got a lot
And
of
they're
that.
like, and you can't shame somebody for fucking getting healthy.
No.
You can't.
No.
And I'm sorry, you were gonna.
No, but seriously, there are, it was kind of weird, because it's interesting that, with a certain aesthetic, there's a label. And I'm cool with that. It's like, okay, that's cool. I'm down with that.
Viking.
And then all of a sudden it went away, and all of a sudden they were like, and it gave me a moment to pause and say, it's like my wife said to me. She goes, I love a lot of what you've got going on now, but I do miss the 300-pound Viking that I knew I was.
Sure. There's a cuddly factor that's gone.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
not only that, there was a safety thing.
Sure. Oh, absolutely. Big,
You're
strong
a big
man.
bear.
And, well, no.
But not
and
that you're not still a strong
no.
person.
Or
but
maybe
I get
he
that.
drops the
No,
weight,
I
and
could
then all of a
take him
sudden
out.
all these young girls are all over him.
No,
No,
that,
no.
I mean, as a
That's a different
security factor,
insecurity. Yeah, yeah.
No,
factor,
no,
I
no,
mean, to
I'm
make
old.
your.
I'm old.
Oh, come on.
No,
Girls
I'm
nowadays,
old.
millennials, they all have daddy
You're in
issues.
love is the better answer to that
You would
question.
be-
Yeah, no. Look, I mean, my wife and I met in 91. It took me 25 years to get back to her. There's nothing in this world that's going to make
There
me
it
mess
is.
that up.
See?
I learned my lesson. And,
I know that. It's
but,
true.
but at the end of the day, I felt like I had taken that as far as I could go. And for health purposes, I changed my ways. I
That's
said,
awesome.
okay. Yeah. And that's
awesome.
what I did.
That's
Yeah.
important too.
I'm-
I mean, you
I'm
seem
that
like you're in
close.
a great journey. Who
Yeah.
got that close to having a larger penis?
Yeah, well.
Yep.
No, I'm
That
to give it
literally.
to,
that
to like that next
Literally
step.
just
You
that
know,
much.
like I'm that close to being allowed for my mind to kind of make that switch because you gotta want it. You have to want it.
Jesus.
It's
Going off the
interesting you
rails.
say that, Brian,
Totally off the
because
rails.
Like you gotta want it.
yeah, exactly. You have to, and
I want
beyond
the bigger
wanting
penis.
it,
So
you have to
bad.
see it. And
Yeah.
and what I did was I visualized what I aesthetically wanted it to be. So there was a
There's an ESPN sports update. Sorry, I just
That's
heard
okay.
Eagles winning.
where are the Eagles?
I don't know where are we at. I just heard
I'm
a
sorry, go on.
doo-doo-doo.
Come on.
All right, we'll go ahead.
Mike
Go ahead.
hasn't texted that it,
Just
life
yell
isn't
it
worth
off
it
camera.
yet, so I'm
What do we
sure
got?
it's fine.
Wow. All right,
Sorry.
I know. Keep going. We'll figure it out.
Anyway, the idea was I had a picture. And the idea was, once you have a picture, you can stay the course.
Yeah.
You can say, okay, no, I'm not at that picture yet.
And that 30 days clean is really
Yeah.
that kind of no drink, sober
Nothing.
October,
No alcohol for
no
30
weed
days.
or nothing.
And
I
for-
mean,
That was
just
it.
alcohol.
Yeah.
I mean, or is it
I didn't change my eating
or
habits
cannabis
right away,
habits or
but I changed the alcohol intake, which
gotcha.
was excessive.
Which is huge.
Well, and
'cause
tell
all
them
those
what
sugars.
you don't eat now.
and you kind of reset.
I don't eat anything.
Pussy.
No,
No, he does that now. That came with the bigger penis.
Wow, I guess yeah. She's like, you're gonna eat this goddamn thing.
But not she, his
Not
wife.
me.
Yes,
Yeah.
not
My
Abby.
Oh,
wife.
yeah.
By the way,
we mentioned that originally.
yeah. By the way, the Patriots are up
I love
17-10
you,
right
Chris
now.
Mosconi.
So
Oh,
you're
Chris.
welcome, Phil.
yeah,
Come
there
on.
you go. It's because you got the hat on.
Yeah, it's the hat.
Take the hat off.
Ah,
now.
He's doing good work for us. I'm
Ginger
not going to let him
Jesus
be.
is gonna
I'm
pull
gonna let
through.
him be.
Ginger Jesus will.
Are you editing all of this as we go?
Yeah.
We are.
We're doing it live!
He's the king. He's the
We're
king.
doing it live. So wait, real quick. Not that I want to cut off your story about your amazing journey, but I just don't want to lose time on, and I want to hear you guys play so hard. But how did you
So
two
hard.
connect? How did Abby and
So hard.
Chris Gordon come together? Abby Lee.
Thank you. He slid into my DMs in a
Whoa.
respectful, professional way.
Oh.
I just wanted to say that I am technically a millennial, but I don't feel like I say enough millennial things. So
I mean,
thanks
I
for
don't-
letting me try that.
I don't dare to ask your age or anything. But
Thanks for
Don't
letting
do
me
it.
try that. No, he reached out and said that he had seen me sing. There's
Yes.
this bar we go to a lot called Tom and Jerry's.
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
sure.
Tom and
Up
Jerry's.
in Springfield, Martin.
Folsom?
There's, off of the
Folsom,
McDade Boulevard.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, on
yeah,
McDade Boulevard.
Absolutely.
Wow.
And so I think you were there one night when I was singing.
One night when you were singing.
And he reached out through Facebook Messenger and said, I would love to have you lend your voice to some of the songs that I've written, which at the time were just, he had like 40 instrumental tracks that were beautiful and brilliant. They were very metal focused. And he said, do you also write melodies and lyrics? And I said, I do. And I said, do you want to tell me what you're looking for so that I hit it? Like, do you want to tell me the themes that you're looking to cover in the music? Or he goes, no, just do what you want with it. And so I did, and we had our first rehearsal, and I was terrified. And most of the days would have murdered me because we met in a basement.
There's actually a great story behind that. It's an interesting story.
He's like, I saw this porn. It
So-
started in a
No.
basement.
The interesting thing is that, and it was interesting because we were corresponding through the internet, so messaging, emails, and I don't know if I actually included this in the email or whether I'm just projecting my thought process. I was like, feel free to bring someone with you.
Oh, he did say that, yes.
Yeah.
Right, so it's in the email. Feel free to bring someone with you because I know she didn't know us.
Sure.
And she's coming down into a quote unquote basement.
Right.
But I will say, being a woman in rock, you're always,
On
you're
guard.
pretty much the
Yeah.
only woman in the
Yeah.
room. And so there's been a lot
Right.
of like similar situations where I've had to make the decision. But I always make my husband listen to any musicians' like YouTube videos or anything they sent demos. And he listened to Chris's, and I said, what do you think? And he goes, yeah, he's really good. And I said, do you think I should I said, look at these pictures of him. He's fucking huge. Do you think
He's 300 pounds.
Do you think I should bring someone with me to go down to meet him in this basement? And he goes, I don't know. He's really good at guitar. I think he'll be okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I
true.
think you'll be all right. He's
So
more
that's-
concerned about the guitar.
And that's the interesting thing.
Yeah.
The better you are at guitar, the less likely you are to be psychotic.
Well,
There-
that's,
well,
it's
That's
true.
why
I'll take
I
it.
learned
There's a level of genius
guitar
Yes.
was, you learn Wonderwall.
So people
and
you
could
wouldn't
get
think you
laid.
were creepy?
And you could
Or-
get laid.
Yeah, but no,
You
you
can-
learn something like
You can also be
where
charming.
I go is like this
You mix-
guy
you
doesn't
mix,
even
like-
is
The
not
best serial killers
interested.
always are.
You mix
Stop it. Don't tell my
Mixolydian
secret.
scales on a
Right, he's
guitar.
like, oh, he's playing Mixolydian.
Mixolydian
flat
scales. And
six
sure, you can
scales.
totally trust him in a basement.
Yes, this guy has no
Yeah.
interest in women at all.
Wonderwall,
I didn't know what
vagina,
any of that meant at the time.
Mixolydian scales.
Wow.
You could be trusted in a basement.
But yeah, then after that first rehearsal, it went from him hiring me to just record some stuff for him to us forming a band that kind of turned into such an amazing collaborative writing duo that
Which is called. Look, come on.
honestly right now I'm gonna call it Abby Lee and Chris Gordon.
I like it. I like Abby and Chris.
Abby Lee and Chris
Well, so
Gordon.
the weird thing with that for me is that my husband's name is Chris too, but it
Oh,
doesn't matter.
wow. So
Music
wait.
before everything.
Abby
Oh,
Lee
is
and
this
Chris,
the tea?
before we, I'm so sorry. This is amazing. We've just been delivered some fresh tea that is made by our previous guest,
Would
Amy
you,
Blackthorn.
would you like tea?
I would love
Do we have
some.
information about what this
I have
tea
a whole
is?
Jameson here.
Oh, thank
You
you.
can have the tea.
It'd be great before I sing.
Come back. I'm sorry. Cloves and
Blood orange.
cloves,
Smell
cinnamon.
that.
Stuff.
Oh, it
Thank you
smells
so
good.
much
That's
to
intense.
her t-shirt.
That's
Oh, Amy
intense.
Blackthorn. Don't forget to check them out. Blackthorn Hoodoo Teas.
Well, I think
yeah.
I think the food's almost ready. What if we should we eat
Brisket.
first and then music, or
Let's give us.
Yeah.
How about a little preview, maybe, and to play us out, and then we'll eat.
come back eat?
Yeah.
So to a preview, should we do crumble anything just to preview and then we'll do a couple
Oh, this tea smells so good. Thank you so much, Amy.
So so when we return, we're gonna get these guys mic'd up a little bit better, and when we return.
Bada boom. Sounds good.
Rain beats down on my roof. You won't look me in the eyes. Fishing around for proof. All I'm catching are lies. And I'm falling apart. Yeah, I'm out of my mind. And if I can't have your heart, no one will ever get mine. Cause I'm crumbling, and I'm crawling, and I'm tumbling over you. Over you.
Dorks and forks. Dorks and forks. Dorks and forks. Dorks and forks.
Ready?
Yep.
I'm gonna burp. Hold on.
We're
Let
rolling.
me not do a Howard Stern and do it in microphone. Let me go over here. All right, ready? And we're back. We're back here with Nick, Chef Nick from Limestone Bourbon and Barbecue and Bourbon. And, of course, Amy Blackthorn is joining us again. Chef Nick, tell us what you've made for us.
Let me just say that
go
Amy
ahead.
brought up this beautiful
Yeah,
cup of
oh,
tea.
yeah, let's go back to
that
this
we've
tea.
been sipping on over the past couple of interviews. And could you just tell us a little bit about that?
This is our Florida water tea. There's a traditional cologne used in energy cleansing called Florida water. Florida means floral. So it has orange blossoms and it has clove buds and lavender buds. So it's warm and sweet and it's really soothing. There's no actual tea in it. It's just fruit and flowers.
Wow.
So it's called Itisane.
It's so good. It's so just soothing
so
and
nice.
refreshing. The citrus, yeah.
Thank you so much.
There's like notes of
course.
citrus in there that are really nice. That's
And because we use whole leaves, it didn't need extra sugar. It doesn't need a whole
Right.
lot of anything. It's just
And I was
great.
just about to say that too, is because usually in my teas or even my coffee, like I just need a little sweetness, but this is so naturally sweetened that it's unnecessary. Yeah,
almost, like the essence of that.
that's really good. And we can of
captured.
course find this on your website.
Yes, blackthornhoodooblends.com.
That's delicious. Absolutely.
Well, thanks for coming out and having dinner with us. and
Thank you.
doing
This
all
smells
that stuff.
incredible.
So Chef Nick, what do we have in front of us? I'm actually going to start eating while you're talking to us, if that's okay.
So
Wait, I think you have to put it up next to the camera. So
Oh,
can
did we
cut
not
to
see
it.
this yet? Okay, here we go.
Yeah, here we
Hey,
go.
kids,
Close up of these
look at that.
tacos.
Oh yeah.
That is some good tacos. All right, chef. Tell us
So-
about them.
what we have is our smoked brisket tacos, pickled onions, jalapenos, char poblanos, and a little salsa verde, and char poblano guacamole, served with our rice and beans with a little chipotle sour cream.
Holy smokes.
Well, there's more to those rice and beans than just rice and beans.
Yeah, so there's a little bit of brisket in them.
Yeah, a
Oh,
lot
so-
of brisket.
We actually make a sauce and then fold the rice in.
Oh, wow.
Oh
Wow.
my God!
That's something that's a
next
whole meal
level.
in itself. When
Yeah.
I was growing
It's
up,
almost like butter.
Yeah,
Like it
it's
turns
next
that
level.
rice and bean, and then that meat and the meat fat
Yeah.
just cuts it like this, almost like
smooth.
Oh my god.
smooth
Yeah.
palate. Oh my God, so good. And a
That's-
taco.
Nice
out of
corn
this world.
tortilla. I like the onion. That's a pickled onion.
Pickled red onions,
Pickle. Oh yeah, it's so
a little
good.
pickled jalapeno on there just for a little bit of spice.
That looks amazing. Just right in the. Oh yeah, look at that. Right there.
Now,
That's
do you
so
serve this
good.
at the restaurant?
Wow.
So we have a lot of similar items on Taco Tuesday. So we do a Taco Tuesday, very similar, but not this exact taco. I want to do something different.
Maybe
we got
that's
something
delicious.
special. Thank you.
The pickled jalapeno, or I mean, there's what citrus in there because it brightens up.
So a little bit of lime.
Yeah, it's so
Yeah.
bright.
Yeah, I like textures and layers of flavor.
Yeah, it's delicious.
It cuts the spice with a little bit of sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. That's so good. Oh, here's Mackenzie with some napkins for us. Thank you so much.
so much.
Thank you.
Thank you,
This is so good. Yeah, that rice with that brisket in there, it's just like an extra little treat. It's like
Yeah.
hamburger helper to the extreme, you know?
Yeah.
It's seriously.
I like meat in my sides too, not just the main dish.
I like sides of my meat. I don't even know what that means. But I love it.
But I'm here for it.
This is so good. So one more time, tell us again where we can find Limestone BBQ and Bourbon.
We are on Limestone Road. We used to be the Buffalo Wild Wings. Kirkwood Highway and Limestone Road. 2062 Limestone Road.
That's not far.
No,
It's
it
really
took me
close
like
for
10
those of
minutes
us
to
that
get
are
here,
in
something like
here in
that.
Delaware. Now, on the bourbon side of things, can you speak to any of that? Like, what are some of the bourbons that you guys
So-
have on
We have our own private labels. We have our own Maker's Mark, our own Knob Creek. The owners and our culinary director, Robbie Jesser, actually went down to Kentucky and you start with Maker's 46 and you put 5 different staves from throughout the rack house for different flavors. You know, one spicier, one sweeter, one has a little more wood flavor. So we got to flavor it ourselves using the thieves from the barrels. So we might be looking at a barrel of Whistle Pig as well, but we won't talk on that a whole lot.
That's great. So wait, let me real quick. Oh, that sounds so good because to
so good.
complement what's
Yeah.
happening right here with these flavors, the smokiness on this brisket is amazing. What are you guys using in your smokers?
So just cherry wood, and all
Okay.
that's on that for seasoning is salt and pepper, nothing else.
Wow.
Yeah, we like to
Oh
let
my
the
God.
beef speak, you know.
Yeah, no, and you let it speak loudly for sure.
Thank
It
you,
is
thank you.
delicious. Such a great combination of flavors here.
That creme fraiche or
So yeah, it's
Oh,
a
creme
chipotle
fraiche.
lime sour cream.
oh man,
Yeah, kind of just breaks up the heaviness of the rice. I feel
it
like.
really does, and it's delicious.
Everything's just so bright, so flavorful. Guys, definitely check out Limestone BBQ and Bourbon.
Yeah.
So delicious.
And Amy, like, where can we find all your stuff?
Our Florida Water tea is right on the front homepage at blackthornhoodooblends.com.
Nice.
And my books can be found at amyblackthorn.com. There's a little bit of information in there about my brand new book that's writing right now.
And,
So that'll be coming out next January.
and you kind of told me a little bit about it.
I did. I sort of sneaked a peek. We're going to be talking about potions. We're going
Ooh.
to talk about creating your own magical tea blends.
Okay.
The ingredients can do things for you, like your Florida water cleansing your energetic space. Instead of using our smoke, you can drink a
Yeah.
cup of tea.
That's great. Oh yeah, I love that.
We'd
What-
love
and-
to have you back and
Yeah, when the
I
new
would
one
love
comes
that.
out.
about it.
Do we have a name for the new book?
Yes, Blackthorn's Botanical Brews. So there's a kitchen chapter. There you can make syrups and flavor your different sodas. Or there's a bar chapter where you can create different alcoholic beverages and what those base materials do and how they can empower you emotionally and spiritually.
That's awesome.
And you could always ice your teas, right?
Yes. The Florida water is what I ice most frequently.
And then you could pour a little vodka over that or
Oh.
some citrus.
Oh, yeah, they make great cocktails.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And because you're starting with a watery tea base, you don't get dehydrated, you don't
Right,
get hungover.
balances out. That's great.
I
That's
would
great.
love some like gin in some of these.
Oh, yeah, I have a
I feel like
recipe.
this with a gin.
What's your recipe?
The infusing Earl Grey tea into gin and making a martini with it. You can actually just let it sit on the shelf for a couple weeks. It gets all that bergamot flavor, that warm and sweet. You can use green tea or black tea.
Wow. Wow. Oh, I love a good Earl Grey. That's great.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you so much again.
thank you so much. Everything
Nick,
was
this was just delicious. Again, check out Limestone BBQ and Bourbon. And please check out all the delicious teas from Blackthorn's Hoodoo Blends. And what are we
Thanks so
coming
much.
back
When
with?
we return, Chris Gordon plays
And
for us.
Abby Lee
They play for us.
play the music
For us.
for us, for
They're
the
gonna play.
masses.
They're going to play for
All
us. Tableside. They're going to earn their supper.
And gang, real quick, just don't forget you can check
Play
out
for your supper.
great pictures of all of the food we're eating today and the entire shenanigans on our Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Dorks and Forks.
Yeah. And check me out every Tuesday night doing trivia over at Bullseye Bar and Saloon on Kirkwood Highway.
Yep. All right, we'll be right back.
Dorks and Forks.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, the wonderful song Stylings with the song called
What should be?
What Should Be, Chris Gordon and Abby Lee.
That's quite a mess you made, and I'm not gonna clean it up. No. So used to catching a break, but now you're catching on 5 times up. Yeah, yeah. You always say it's not about what you do. That it all comes down to what they can prove.
done. Holy smokes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Guys, you sound great. Just amazing. Thank you again for sharing your time with us. One more time. Yet to be unnamed Chris Gordon Abbey Lee Project. Can we find you on the interwebs anywhere?
You will soon find us on the interwebs.
All right. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
All right.
It's the best I can.
Until then,
Yeah.
we do have our personal accounts, which are just all music. We don't do anything else.
Yeah. The
Yeah,
music is
no,
good.
this is all we do.
Yeah. So personal
So,
accounts, they can
personal
find
accounts.
you.
I am Abby Lee Mosconi.
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 And I'm Chris Gordon, Gordon.
Gordon. Find him on the Facebooks, the interwebs, the Twitters. And one more time, that email where we can forward you information if anybody's interested in and able to help.
Thank you. Yes, if you're interested in considering being a kidney donor, what you can do is you can reach out to me, and then I will give you all of the information for how to get started, and then you will be passed on to our donor coordinator, who is amazing. My email is absabs.mosconi, MOSCONI @gmail.com.
Thanks again, guys, so much for
Thank
being
you.
here.
Thank you so
Amazing.
Thanks so much for having us.
Thank you so much.
Always an awesome.
When we return, nerd news.
Nerd
and then we're gonna
news.
wrap this up.
Nerd news.
All right, I think Brian Skinner's gonna come on camera with us.
Skinner's coming over.
Table clear?
Well, you want to clear the napkins then while you're at it, or like whatever else is there? Yeah, there we go. Thought
Okay,
of
here
it.
we go.
No, we're fine. Lighter, schmiter.
Yeah, it's the
All right, man. What a great show that we had tonight.
It was a good show. It was a really
And,
good show. I
you
had
know,
a good time with everybody today.
We had some big challenges tonight.
Yeah,
you
some
know?
new technical things. I hope everybody enjoyed the new video aspect of,
Yeah.
of the show.
Yeah, we'd like to thank Phil Priest for getting behind and kind of engineering the board. OBS, we run an open broadcasting system, and we have this Behringer mixer, and it's not a crazy setup with webcams,
things.
but we're trying to make it out. And fortunately, we have our friend here, Brian Skinner.
Yeah, I was
Skinner.
helping out as well. I was working behind the camera.
Skinner's
Yeah.
making things happen.
Skinner's kind of a legend here in Delaware, and I'm just really happy we have him part of the crew. You wanna tell people a little bit about yourself?
Oh, I used to be a cameraman in New York City.
Yeah. What were you
Glenn
doing?
worked on shows.
I
like-
worked on some reality TV shows in New York, some Real Housewives of New York, some Top Chefs, some
Real World?
Project Runway. I did an episode or a season of The Real World.
A whole
Wow.
season.
The whole season, yeah.
Like, what was that like?
That was insane. They literally had 8 kids live in a house.
Yeah.
And have
With
their
no
lives
rules.
taped
Yeah.
Yeah.
and see what happens when people stop being polite
And start getting real.
Start getting real.
That's
And
the
what
real
happened?
world.
Nothing. It was the most boring season ever. It was
Yeah?
actually pretty funny. Yeah, we called them for the girls, we called the Golden Girls because they sat around playing cards all night.
Oh, really?
Nobody hooked up. Nobody got drunk.
Yeah. But you also did that
They all
show
knew
at
better.
P. Diddy, though, right?
Oh yeah, making the band.
Making
Oh,
a
really?
band, yeah.
Yeah.
And you were on a
yeah,
yacht
yeah.
or something out in Miami?
Oh, I was in a couple of yachts in Miami with Diddy.
That's wild.
I'm sure.
Oh,
What was
yeah.
that like behind the camera?
It was definitely like an eye-opening experience to see what happens behind the scenes at in reality TV. I mean,
Because you can't intervene, right? Like you just gotta let things happen.
Yep,
It's like even if somebody's in danger, you're just
Yep.
like, yeah, here I am.
yep.
And you were just running camera.
Can't interact at all. It was like the biggest.
Yeah.
It was like the biggest. Yeah, we had to sign these contracts that were like an inch thick. The
Yeah.
blue book.
Wow.
Is it like non-disclosure
Yeah,
things?
a lot of NDAs I had to sign.
Wow.
I bet.
Yeah,
That's so interesting.
because you saw some crazy shit.
Yeah, I really can't talk about it a lot.
Yeah, no, of course.
I actually worked with the president of the United States on a television show.
Oh, Barack Obama?
No.
George
Donald
W?
Trump?
The other guy, yeah.
Trump?
Yeah.
Well,
I
like
worked
one of
on,
his shows?
A pageant show.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
And you ran camera for that?
No, I was just a production assistant on that, and I was just kind of driving people around. But one of the things I wanted to see was his hair. And, I got to see his hair and how it reacted getting out of a helicopter, and it was the
yeah.
craziest thing. Like,
And it was like a comb over, or
yeah, it was like a thing that just kind of all hair sprayed together that stayed together.
Wow.
That's
Just,
so
I
interesting.
mean,
Really?
unbelievable.
God bless that man.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
God bless that.
Yeah,
man.
Dan.
Five.
Well, it's good to have you here, man.
Thanks for
I
joining
really
us, Skinner. I
appreciate you
really
coming
appreciate
in,
it.
having some dinner, some drinks.
Yeah, it was
Dan,
fun, man.
nerd news.
Nerd news.
Nerd news.
Well, the biggest thing that's happening in the nerd world, the geek culture these days,
Yeah.
is that Disney Plus launched
Disney
recently.
Plus!
Disney Plus launched recently, having a treasure trove of things from our past and the present.
Yeah.
They own everything now, so on Disney Plus you get all the Disney stuff. That's a lot of which is out of the vault. You get access to National Geographic. You get access to the Fox library, which includes The Simpsons because they own that now. Pixar,
wild.
Marvel, Star Wars.
But that's only for like $6.99. But for $11.99 or $12.99, whatever it is, you get ESPN Plus
That's right.
and Hulu.
and Hulu.
So it's a
and
tri-pack
Right.
for
for
$12.99.
yeah, for an amazing
You-
price.
you
And then
almost
if
can't-
you're a
you can't beat
Verizon
it.
subscriber,
Yeah.
you get it for
Buy
free
this,
for the
yeah.
first year. Not a
it's crazy.
sponsor, Disney Plus, but we're waiting and ready
Yeah,
when you
Oh
are.
man, if we can get some free Disney Plus up in this piece.
that'd be
But
wild.
so great Disney Plus things, like I said, that from our childhood. And Skinner,
Well,
we were kinda talking
should
about
we
this in a
talk
second.
about the movies that aren't in Disney Plus?
Well, I like to
'Cause I'm upset.
celebrate. I like to celebrate what the
There were some
positive. But let's
films.
talk about there are some films.
There was some Watcher in the Woods,
Watcher in the Woods, and then what was the other one?
the one with Betty Davis.
Yeah, gosh,
Something
there was
Wicked This
something,
Way
I was
Comes.
just gonna say the
is
Delaware
that?
Theater Company just did a great
Dragon
live version
Slayer.
of that.
Dragon Slayer.
I
Dragon
saw
Slayer.
Gargoyles was on there.
But
too.
Gargoyles is
Okay,
on there.
all
The
right,
animated
there is
series
some positive.
Gargoyles
There
is
some
on there.
positive.
Super stoked about Gargoyles.
And now that that's back, there have been rumors for a long time about a live-action Gargoyles or just a rehashing of the animated series.
Yeah, I heard
Keith
that.
David, who is the original voice of Goliath in Gargoyles, is very excited for the aspect of anything having to do with bringing that back in any way, shape, or form, and is totally on board. Also, we're seeing great things that none of us have had access to in a long time: Chippendale Rescue Rangers,
Sure.
Tailspin,
Yeah, there's a
the
ton
original
there.
DuckTales, all those great things that we all grew up with after school. You know.
Yeah. And may I just add,
Yeah.
as a father to an 8 and a 6-year-old, having that energy, the Disney Plus energy in your house, lends to a different energy as opposed to your kids playing video games or
Sure.
watching YouTube videos.
It's so much more
There's-
family oriented and
Yeah,
engaging.
It's warmer.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
a ton smarter, I think. Where if like you had channels like this that you helped raise your kids with, because it's
absolutely.
like, but parenting is really hard,
Right.
and sometimes you got a million things to do and you have to turn something on,
Yeah.
right? And at 8 and 6, you kind of feel like, oh, what are they watching now on YouTube? Or okay, or they're playing Roblox and
Right.
and okay, what's some weird adult saying? It's really hard. But
Right.
I feel like, or
With
even
the
with
Disney
Netflix,
stuff.
who knows what they're Disney Plus, you could turn it
You
on
feel
and
safe.
yeah, there's a safety to it.
Sure, absolutely. And there's so many great things again that were staples of our childhood that are
Yeah.
available on there. I remember
I watched Return to Oz.
you did watch it.
I watched it. That
just-
was the first thing I watched.
Yeah.
On Disney Plus. I went, what don't they have? Oh, they don't have Watcher in the Woods. They don't have something wicked this way. Do they have Return to Oz?
and it's there.
Do they have the Black Cauldron?
And they do.
They do. All right.
And the
So
Sword
look.
and the
So
Stone.
look. As much as I'm going to complain of what they don't have,
Let's talk about what they do.
they have some really good ones that
Right.
I was hoping like the Black Cauldron and
Sword and the
So
Stone.
what did you watch first?
a Return to Oz.
So I believe
Well,
it or
I
not,
watched an episode of Mandalorian and then I watched Return.
So
to
the
Oz.
first thing I wanted to watch The Mandalorian first, but I was kind enough to wait for my beautiful lady friend here, so we watched it together. But the first thing I actually watched was a documentary called The Imagineering Story, which is kind of about the creation of Disneyland on the whole and how
Nice. Yeah,
the
I think I saw that.
Imagineers, which is when I was a kid and the Disney Channel was new. Part of what they would show on there, outside of the original stuff that from their vault, they would also have these great mini docu-series about Imagineers, which is that imagination and engineering coming together and how they would create the rides and all that kind of stuff. So to see like a larger documentary like that that's available on,
Yeah, I
on the
watched
Disney
that.
Channel was
Check it.
great.
What was that
Yeah, I
called?
watched
The,
as well.
the Imagineering story.
Oh, I have to check
It's
that. I
great.
think I saw the poster or whatever.
It's great. And there's another great documentary on there called Frank and Ollie, which is about two of probably the most integral animators that the Disney studios have ever had. If you've seen anything probably from the beginning of time for Disney in terms of fully animated films up through Oliver and Company and maybe beyond, they were most likely involved. And they actually have there's a couple of the newer movies that have like little odes to them. Like there's two characters that you see that like look just like them and stuff like that. So yeah, we've seen a lot of stuff. But mainly, let's talk about what everybody's excited about out there from the Star Wars aspect of what Disney owns. The newest offering in the Star Wars universe, The Mandalorian, created of course by Jon Favreau.
Yeah, Swingers.
So of Swingers
Iron
fame,
Man.
and who also plays in the Avengers and Marvel Iron Man
What
series.
was it after Swingers?
Swangers.
No, it was Swingers, right?
Swingers, PCU.
PC
Oh, he
was
did
before.
PCU?
No, did he do
Yeah.
PCU?
Yeah.
That was Jeremy Piven.
No, he was in PCU. as
Did he do
well.
Made? Or the
Made?
Vegas?
Yeah, Made, the Vegas one. He's done
Yeah.
a lot of stuff.
I like Job Favreau. Yeah, TCU. Isn't that where he played like the linebacker? What was the
No,
one where he
a
played?
big-
Because he was an
he
actor.
played a stoner with like dreadlocks.
Yeah, but if he was a football
That
player,
was him.
Yeah.
and he was
Oh,
a football
man.
player, and they were like,
Yeah.
"Get the ball," and he's like, "Get the ball," and he's
You're
like, "Get
totally
the ball."
right. You're totally right.
Oh, that was.
What was that?
Oh, what was that?
Remember, he played like he was like a linebacker.
He's in so many great
Oh,
things.
dude,
the
college.
Replacements, maybe.
I don't know, man.
No.
Leave your comments below if you know what we're talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
But The Mandalorian
So good.
is so good. It's such a return to the original Star Wars saga. That feeling of so part of George Lucas's vision
Joseph Campbell's.
of Star Wars was a space western, and I feel like we've come back to that, which I
Right.
think has maybe been lost for a little bit.
I mean, yeah, it's fundamental storytelling.
Yeah.
And it's a tale that's been told a 1,000 times before,
Mm-hmm.
and it's really cool to see it done in that environment,
In a serialized way.
in this weird serialized way, and there's a ton of references in it too, where you're just like, damn, they hit on so many. It's so smart,
Right.
Where they hit in like,
Right.
you
Like,
know,
remember this. There's a lot of
like,
Easter eggs.
yeah, how they're all frozen and carbonite.
Right, the carbonite
in the
stuff,
beginning.
which is, I mean, technically, in the series, they're like, oh, I thought this was only used for spices and yada yada, and not a regular thing, but it's a regular thing now. 5 years after the Empire has fallen, which is when this series takes place.
I think it's incredible.
It's beautiful.
And you kind of sit back and watch it, and you're like, there's a lot of non-lips saying dialogue.
Oh yeah, no, like
Yeah,
the
there's
second
no
the second
facial
episode, I think there's
expression.
like 10 minutes of no dialogue at all, and it's
Yeah.
the most beautifully
Yeah.
told story in just that small time
And
frame.
I feel like the way they're able to convey wit
Right.
without facial expression, because everyone's behind masks or it's a droid.
Or it's a droid, right?
But the Mandalorian, to be able to create a character as strong as his, with so much personality as his,
Yeah.
behind a mask, I
Right.
thought it's fucking
Yeah,
brilliant.
mask work I hear is like the hardest work for actors
It's
to
a-
do.
Right.
Because it's someone's
you have
voice.
you have to express so much with your body that you can't
Right.
express through your face.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So it's like the
wild.
hardest kind of work to do for
Yeah.
actors. to
But it's
do.
so well
But here's
written.
Disney with unlimited
know?
money.
Right, and it's so well written that I think part of those expressions just come through naturally
Yeah.
right.
in the way it is. And then a lot of the music that's in it too is just like so brilliantly scored throughout.
Oh, yeah,
There's
so-
definitely like references, like audible references to the spaghetti westerns of the
Sure.
past, like the Sergio Leone type movies.
Yeah,
the
I
Good,
almost
Bad,
felt
and the
like-
Ugly,
I almost felt like definitely like this, like Bruce Campbell could be the Mandalorian.
anybody could be the Mandalorian.
But
We all
could you
obviously
imagine
know who it is,
Bruce
but,
Campbell
wouldn't
as
that be
the
funny?
Mandalorian? But I feel like early Briscoe County Jr. when Bruce Campbell did Briscoe County
Oh,
Jr. and it was
wow,
that
yeah.
steampunk
No, absolutely.
sci-fi western period, but of
That's what this
steampunk
story always was
where
about.
where your gunslinger is this kind of he's not
Right.
smooth. He's kind of like flying by the seat of his pants.
Right. Right, like a Maverick kind of thing.
Yeah, it's
right.
really well done. So
Yeah.
he's not Clint Eastwood,
Right.
but he's Bruce Campbell and in
Sure, no,
you
there
know,
is a comic relief
Yeah.
aspect to it,
Yeah.
and they have the lighter and
like
and
they're
the
not
darker.
taking it too seriously.
Now,
which
there's
is
one
great.
character in the series who is played by Nick Nolte. I think only in voice. I don't believe
Yeah.
Nolte is
Like
the
he's
person
behind the makeup?
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
about
He
that.
looks like he's the
Cor-
guy behind the
Correct
makeup.
us if we're wrong.
Yeah.
Obviously, there is a height difference that I'm sure there is some forced perspective maybe going on there.
Yeah.
That because I know Nolte isn't a minuscule human being as this character
movie
that he plays.
trickery.
So I'm sure there's some movie trickery. If anybody can weigh in on that, please feel free to leave some comments for us about that. But seeing the old school practical makeup effects intertwined seamlessly with the computer effects, I think is a plus. Obviously, the prequels.
Simon Pegg in this.
I think maybe he directs an episode.
Oh,
Simon
man.
Pegg.
He
I know
needs
Taika. I know Taika Waititi was
Yeah.
the voice of the droid IG-11 in the first episode, and he also does direct an episode later. Taika Waititi, of course, who directed Thor Ragnarok and
Nice.
played
Oh,
Korg,
nice.
and also in my new favorite movie, Jojo Rabbit,
So
plays.
hot right now.
And there's a new
Imaginary
meme going
Hitler.
around.
There's a new meme going around with Baby Yoda. Is that what we were talking
Baby
about?
Yoda.
So obviously, everybody's calling it Baby Yoda. It's not Yoda, but
It's his species.
but it's his species. But look, hey, wait, let's
It
talk
looks
about
like
this
Yoda.
because apparently there is no name to his species in official canon of Star Wars, and I beg to differ. I feel like that has been named before, and for some reason now it's mysteriously gone from everybody's information on the webs. Guys, if anybody knows this, go back to the old. I know the books aren't necessarily canon anymore, but this has been named before. We're not crazy.
Yeah, somebody's
I
gotta
want to
know
say
out
it
there.
starts with an L, maybe ends with a K. I feel like I've heard this name before. Check it out for us again. Leave some comments in below. But this baby being of the same species as Yoda and Yaddle, who we've seen, of course, in the prequels, the female of the species who was also in the Jedi Council, is here and apparently has some Force abilities. And we're going to see what happens moving forward
Can't wait.
in this series and how that all plays in.
Can't wait.
Gotta love also Werner Herzog playing this person on the Empire side. Of course, Werner's movies, the documentaries that he makes and everything are amazing. But when you see his presence in a film, I also think that carries such great weight. So it's nice to see him, and we'll see what goes on. Some speculation about the doctor that was in that same scene where the Mandalorian came to collect the bounty, about where he's from. If you look at the insignia on his shoulder, it does bear a striking resemblance to something that we've seen before in the prequels from a clone facility. On an ocean planet somewhere. So check that out, and we'll see what happens with The Mandalorian. Guys, so many exciting things coming out. The Mandalorian will drop a few episodes, a couple episodes a month, I think, moving forward to the end of the year, with 8 episodes on the whole. Disney Plus is awesome. So many great other things going on. Coming up in the holiday season, lots of holiday movies on Netflix, like the new animated Klaus, which looks to be awesome, has some great voice talent from J.K.
to look that
Simmons
up.
in there and Rashida Jones. It looks like it's really good, man. I like the animation in that.
Nice.
All right,
Have to look that up.
yeah, check it out.
Cheers. So that's it.
That's it. That's
You've
all
wasted-
she wrote.
Oh,
You've
man.
wasted another hour or so of your life.
You're
there,
welcome.
listening to Dorks and Forks podcast. Yeah, I'll probably do the rest of this in post production.
Yeah, Skinner, thank you so much for joining us.
Hey, thanks
Uh,
for having me.
Thanks, of
for-
course. Go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean
No,
to cut you
thanks
off.
for feeding
cheers,
me those
man.
tacos earlier. That
Cheers.
Yeah,
was
right.
Tacos.
They were delicious.
amazing.
Thanks, of course, to our guest, Amy Colburn. You can check her out at Amy Colburn. What the hell? Okay, wait.
Amy Blackthorn.
Thanks,
we
of
just
course.
keep going.
Yeah, no. Thanks, of course, to our guest, Amy Blackthorn. You can check her out at Blackthorn's Hoodoo Teas.
Yeah.
Did I mess it
I'll
up?
rate it. I'll rate
We'll
it
write
down
it on
here.
the thing. It's right here.
Just right there.
And then, of course, Chris Gordon and Abby Lee with their amazing music, and Chef Nick from Limestone BBQ and Bourbon. Brian, let's take us out.
Phil Priest.
Phil Priest.
Thank you so much for back there running the board, engineering the whole show. Heather Brand McKenzie.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you so
guys.
much.
You're the best.
They're the
PAs.
hostesses with the mostesses.
That's right.
Anyway, yeah, tune in next time. We will see you on Dorks and Forks.
Boom.
Bang. Bingo, bango.